All right, everybody, this is Rev Sue Frederick, and it is day 33 of our 33 days of angelic wisdom class. And we have done this every morning for 33 magnificent days. And it has been a life changer for me. It has shifted my frequency so dramatically. So today is our final class, and the title is You Are the Angel Now. And the soul teaching is you've walked through grief, forgiveness, divine listening, soul remembering, and radiant trust. You've risen each day, aligned more fully with your divine essence. Now the angels say to you, you are ready. You are not just guided by angels, you have become one. You are now the voice of love, the bringer of light, the answer to someone's silent prayer. When you walk into a room, you carry heaven with you. Got to read that again. When you walk into a room, you carry heaven with you. When you speak, divine wisdom flows through you. When you live from your soul, you shine like the angel you are. This is ascension. This is embodiment. This is the moment your soul came for. That's the most beautiful message for this final day. And I think I'll do the channeled message, and then we're going to hear from Eve. She has a beautiful angel story to set the tone for our class. So, our channeled message today is Beloved, we bow to the light within you. You have remembered what we always knew. You are one of us, a radiant soul sent to earth to lift, to love, to lead. The light has always been yours. Now you illuminate and heal all pain, fear, and darkness. This is your purpose. And now we have a story from Eve that illuminates the angelic presence that this chapter is talking about, where Eve really stepped into the role of being an angel. Eve, would you unmute and share?
Okay. Um, thank you. Thank you for this. When I did pediatric hospice before I retired, I had a 10-year-old on my lap. I was holding her in my arms, and she was dying, but she was still alert and awake. And she was terrified. And my mom had passed in spirit many, many years ago, and I became acutely aware that she was an angel that would come close and help take the children across when needed, wanted, whatever. And she was so terrified, and I couldn't give her any more medication without harming her. And her mother wouldn't hold her because she just couldn't calm her down. And so I thought about it for a minute, and as I was holding her, I asked my mom to come close, and she did. I could feel her; she was like right there. And I said to her, and she knew, the little girl knew she was going to heaven. She had no idea how she was going to get there, and it terrified her. And I asked her simply, how about if you go from your mom's arms to my mom's arms to God? Because I explained to her my mom was an angel and would be there for her. And as soon as I shared that with her, her face lit up. She was calm and peaceful, and she was that happy little girl again. And just felt she just felt so relaxed and secure. And I handed her to her mother, and she died in her mother's arms within the hour, and very peacefully. And yeah, so
That's you stepping into your role, and you've done that a lot in your life, Eve, of becoming the angel in the room in the moment and working with your mom in spirit as an angel. That reminds all of us so beautifully of what we're called to do or asked to do in every situation, be that loving voice of angelic presence. So we honor you, Eve, for dedicating your career to being an angel for people who are suffering and in pain. And we're honored to know you. Thank you, Eve. That's the most beautiful story, and I'm just so moved by that. But remember that all of you, no matter what your career is, no matter what you do all day, there are situations waiting for you to step into and recognize your own angelic presence as a healer. And it can be a trip to the grocery store, it can be many different situations where you find yourself in and someone is in trouble, and you know that you can bring your presence to help, to heal, to calm, to love. Any other stories like that or questions, or should we carry on? So, I really wish we could have our beautiful Annette with us for the last class, but you know what? She has to be here at 5 a.m. her time to do it. So I didn't think she would probably get the email in time. And I didn't recognize until late last night that it was going to mess with everybody, that the time was changing everywhere except Arizona. Arizona. Oh my gosh, the things we have to go through to explain to everybody else how the time zones affect us. But, so we're probably going to miss all the people who are on the Pacific time, like Annette. Oh, there she is. I can't believe she made it. We have to applaud her when she comes on. Annette, are you here, sweetheart? We applaud you at 5 a.m.
Yes, I made it.
I was just talking about you going, we probably won't see you today because it's 5 a.m. your time.
I realized, I said that something is wrong in this picture. It was like my inner calling here.
Oh my gosh. Well, we love you so much. And I'm just so
Thank
honored you're
you.
here for our final class and
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
God, what an amazing group. All right. So here is our meditation breath practice for 2 minutes today. Close your eyes and sit in silence. Breathe slowly and deeply. See yourself standing in radiant light. The light of golden energy unfolds around you, strong, beautiful, glowing. You are grounded to the earth and connected to the heavens. Say silently, I am the angel now. I walk as love. I shine light into darkness. So for 2 minutes, you are reflecting on that statement. I am the angel now. I walk as love. I shine light into darkness. I am the angel now. I walk as love. I shine light into darkness. I am the angel now. I walk as love. I shine light into darkness. So my question to all of you is, in what ways in your life can you walk as love and shine light into darkness? And it doesn't mean you have to be like Eve working in a hospice, although that is beautiful work. But in your ordinary life, how can you walk as love and shine light into darkness? And one of the ways that we can do this is by really also paying attention to our struggling relationships that we might have with people, because there are no humans on earth who don't have relationships that are difficult soul agreements. So, in what ways can you bring love, light, healing to those relationships? And I'm not saying you have to go and spend all your time with that person, but what is the different kind of angelic presence that you can bring to that relationship, even in your heart, in your mind, in your soul? And when you have to be in the same room with them, what can be emanating from your essence so that you are walking as an angel into every room? Anyone want to offer that conversation now before we go into breakout rooms?
A comment and a question. The word that comes to mind for me immediately when you say that is patience.
Mm.
And I want to understand, how do you do this though if you're feeling depleted and you're getting all entangled in what somebody in your family is doing or saying? That's my question.
Well, family is the hardest place, Anne, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Really
Yeah.
I have to today too, so that's what helped me.
Yeah, I mean, if we can walk as light and bring love into all of our family relationships, especially family of origin, then we are really being angels on earth. And I certainly have a constant challenging relationship with my brother. And as I teach this lesson today, I realize I need to reach out to him again in love. And I'm trying to decide, do I just do that silently in prayer and meditation, or do I actually pick up the phone and try to talk to him and hope it just doesn't go down the monkey trail again? And that's a human discernment that we have to make. Is that soul ready for me to have this healing conversation with them? Or is it better if I do it in the light, in meditation, by sending just love and light and angelic presence to them? And that's for each of us to discern. And if you do feel that a certain situation or a certain relationship is just going to pull you into a toxic place, then it means you're not ready, and the situation is too raw. But all of you are angels. And I know that being rested physically and physically, feeling strong has something to do with it as well. Making sure you're getting enough sleep and you're eating good food and you're taking care of yourself physically so that when you have to walk into these situations, you have the energy both physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Yes, beautiful Amber.
Me, Abby?
I'm sorry, I can't read. I'm
It's all
so
good.
blind. I'm sorry, go
I-
right ahead, Abby.
for
Somebody
me,
whose name starts with A.
there's a lot of A's in this
There
group. I
are.
noticed. I was like,
Yes.
oh, there's a lot of us. Um, for me, I just thought of the word like acceptance and really just accepting people for who they are. But there's a caveat to that of like, you still have to take care of yourself. And I shared it in a small group quite a while ago, but there's something in a book called The Let Them Theory by Mel
Yeah,
Robbins.
yeah,
Essentially that concept of let people be themselves, let them be where they're at in their journey, even if they're still not the best version of themselves. If they don't want help, you can't force them, you have to let them. But then the second part of it is let me. So let me assess the situation and what I can do, and let me control myself. And if that means I need to set firmer boundaries and not have someone as close to me because they haven't done their healing and they're not ready for it yet, like, then that's something you have to do, is creating a little bit of space and distance
yeah.
to give them room to do it on their own.
And also lifting up above it as the angels that we
Mhm.
are and seeing them. I mean, you have so much power in your meditations to send healing love and light to another soul. So not only are we letting them be where they are in their soul journey and their human selves, but we are sending angelic love energetically rather than criticism or pain or hurt. That's the difference. When we recognize our angel soul that we can love anyone, even those who have hurt us desperately, or maybe we consider them bad players. We can see them as a soul on a journey doing the best they can. And that's how we send them love. Every relationship can be healed energetically that way. But of course, we have to pick our time and space for being in the physical presence with them, for making sure we're ready to carry our angelic presence. And I'm sure I've told you guys that one of my spiritual teachers used to say, you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family of origin. And I would always realize within like 24 hours, I was kind of sinking back into my childhood pain. And so we have to remember that the earth realm is hard that way. There's another A name up there who wants to speak. Go ahead and unmute.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's reminding me of a story when I started doing the workbook of A Course in Miracles, and that was in the late 90s. So I was probably in my late 30s, and my marriage had come to an end. I was heartbroken. It looked like I was too old to have children. That was heartbreaking. And I didn't have a career, so I was temping as a legal secretary. And A Course in Miracles is a big, fat blue book. It looks similar to law books, and I was temping as a legal secretary. And I would lug this book with me from Queens to Manhattan on the subway, on the buses, and go to work. And when there was nothing for me to do, and often that was the case, I would prop this book up and I would just type straight from the book. One of the lessons was, I am among the ministers of God. And I was very new to all of this. And the girl who I was temping for, her password and username was Dreams and Babies. Nothing could have been salt in the wound more than that. And she was out on maternity leave. So
Right.
everything hurt. Sitting at her desk hurt. And then when I'd bring the papers into the lawyers, they all had these framed pictures of their happy vacations, and they were rolling in dough, and I was struggling financially. But I kept typing out of A Course in Miracles in between doing the work I needed to do for them. And one day the message came to me because I kept asking, what is going on with me? I'm capable of so much more. How can I give? What's my mission? And I was told, you are an undercover minister. You are an undercover minister, like an undercover cop, and you are here to shine your light and shine your love and fill your presence. And that's all you need to do right now. Just increase your relationship with us.
That's beautiful. But you can also now say you're an undercover angel.
Yeah, and not as undercover as I used to be.
We can all graduate this course saying we are now UAs, undercover angels, walking around the earth world, behaving like we're human, but in our hearts knowing that we have an angelic presence, that everyone has an angelic presence, that we are surrounded by angels, and that our ultimate job, different from our day-to-day job, is that we are bringing an angelic presence wherever we go. And that means not, hold on, I have to sneeze. Not being in the human view where we feel like we have to be enemies with people or choose sides in things or defend ourselves. That's all human behavior, but really lifting up and seeing it from the soul's view. So these are wonderful conversations. And, one of the things that affected me most, Amy, because I was studying Course in Miracles in my 30s after Paul died in the early 80s. And I was very heartbroken like you, no kids, and feeling unlovable because I was so traumatized and finding my way in my career. And that part in Course in Miracles that says, if I defend myself, I am attacked. And I realized that's one of the greatest lessons in Course in Miracles, that when we engage in the war, so to speak, where we're defending ourselves, we are now in the battle of the human realm, and there's no winning that battle. And so instead, we lift up above it. And unless people have studied Course in Miracles, they don't understand that language. But it
That's
is
right.
about remembering that if I defend myself, I'm in the war, I'm in the human zone, and that's
And
not where I want.
there's a companion lesson that says, in my defenselessness, my safety lies.
Yes, yes, just beautiful that we are all vulnerable, authentic, gorgeous souls trying to be that authentic, angelic self that is our true nature. And the earth world has made us toughen up and sort of feel that we have to protect ourselves here and cover up our true angelic essence. But that does not serve us, and it doesn't serve anyone here. So the more we peel away the layers, yesterday, one of the things Suzanne Giesemann said to me in the interview, she said, Sue, the session you did with me is unlike anything I've ever had before. And Suzanne Giesemann has worked with the most powerful mediums in the world, and she's world known. And, for her to say that to me, I realized it's just simply I have maybe a more pure access to that angelic realm because I'm not as successful in the human world, and I don't, I'm not the million-dollar best-selling author that comes with so much pressure and have to behave a certain way and perform certain things. In a way, I'm blessed by my simple little life here in Arizona, you know, with still paying the mortgage, still seeing clients, because in a way, it really gets me to be more of my authentic, pure self. So wherever we are in our life is perfect for each of us to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to be authentic, because it's right where we're meant to be. There was somebody else whose hand went up. Oh, Annette, yes.
I just, through my beautiful family, which was coming into my life, they are really mm, the biggest challenge I probably can think of, with all of their aggression and all of the attacks and making it feels like, okay, there we have somebody we can hack on.
Right. Yeah,
And
I've always been the great target of my
yeah,
family as well.
yeah, but I'm the oldest and raised all of them too.
Me
So
too, exactly.
it's like, okay, now we turn against our and she got everything, and she got the big roast, and there's all kind of that thing. And I'm just retreated to this. I really went back to not discuss this anymore. I just like feel, what, I shine the light on them in my heart, and I just sit in quiet and let it, mainly also to you, all your recommendations and all your ideas you had. I just retreated. I just like don't attack back or say defend myself, as you said. So it's just simply, it's much more quiet now.
Yes. And when a person walks into a heated room, conversation, relationship, and they're defenseless and just authentic, it changes the energy in the room. And that really is what an angel is. An angel is not a warrior. And I know some of you have heard how I get upset when we talk about some angels that are honored for being warriors that's written about in the Bible. I kind of don't see angels that way, and I've never met an angel in the other realm who was a warrior. I really see them as these beings of light who are pure love. And if we can remember, that's what a child is. That's what a baby, an innocent is. It's not a wounded human that's been beat up in their earth life and now walks into every room ready to fight. That's the human story, and we know better than that. So it is our calling to really lift our presence without even saying a word, to lift our presence into a different state of angelic presence. And when Eve shared that beautiful story, think of all the different ways it could go when you're in a very scary situation like that. But you take a breath, you breathe into your angelic presence, and you know what to do and you know what to say. And it's always loving. Thank you all so much. All right, we're going to have our final breakout room discussions, final ever. So please love on everyone in your room. And I thought it might be nice to say to everyone in the room, you know, what you are grateful to them for, because we've learned so many things to be able to say, here are some things I'm grateful for about you and what you have shared, and here's how I'm going to try to bring my angelic presence to the world. But be sure to thank each other. So here you go. Okay, so as we come back from the breakout rooms, there's just so much love in this group and so much sharing of this angelic wisdom. It's just all of you, there's so much love, and I'm so grateful for it. And all of the stories you've shared have enlightened all of us. All of the questions you've asked have helped elevate all of our awareness. And I know some of you said you'd like to meet once a month. And, you know, that's why I set up a Patreon angelic group. But I think we need to brand it some other kind of way, because people don't really come to that Patreon group. They wait for the recording, and the purpose of it is to interact and share and discuss. So I'll think about how to carry on with that. And the other thing is, you know, reminding each other in this group every day that we are angelic souls is a very important thing. So ask yourself, how will you remember every day moving forward that you have an angelic higher self that wants to behave like that on earth? Well, there's many ways to do that. Meditation, prayer. You can continue doing this angel writing prompt work in the journal. You can even start over and do the angel writing prompts every day. So here is today's angel writing prompt, our final one for the class. Angels, show me how I've healed over the past 33 days. Reveal what my path looks like now that I walk only in the light of divine presence. Show me the grace unfolding in my future. Write what you receive. I think that's a really good thing. Angels, show me how I've healed over the past 33 days. Reveal what my path looks like now that I walk only in the light of divine presence. I know for me, I am not disappointed in the outer world anymore. And I felt disappointed at the beginning of this class. So I will go to the angels every day and ask them to lift me up into their perspective, even when difficult things are happening in the physical world. Because, at least for me, that is my greatest point of pain, is looking out at the world and saying, oh, how can that be happening? How can that person do such and such? But the angels show it to us all in a very different way. And that's what I'm grateful for. So please write how you have healed over the past 33 days. Angels, show me how I've healed over the past 33 days. Reveal what my path looks like now that I walk only in the light of divine presence. Show me the grace unfolding in my future. Write what you receive. Your second angel writing prompt is Beautiful angels, give me a meaningful angelic ministry task that I can begin this week. Write what you receive. Beautiful angels, give me a meaningful angelic ministry task that I can begin this week. Beautiful angels, give me a meaningful angelic ministry task that I can begin this week. Write what you receive. So today we're having our final action step to raise our vibration for the day. And I think it's a really beautiful one. Look in the mirror and say, I am an angel on earth. I live in divine alignment. I am here to lift the world. Then go out and live it. Speak your light. Embody your truth. You are the miracle now. I am an angel on earth. I live in divine alignment. I am here to lift the world. Now remember, that isn't ego speaking. That is us aligning with our higher soul, because it doesn't say, I am here to win and outsmart everyone and be more aware and enlightened than everyone. It says, I bring love, I bring healing, I bring angelic presence into every room. And it's a shift from our human nature that wants us to, the human ego wants us to protect ourselves, defend ourselves, be the smartest person in the room, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that human burden is so heavy. It is such a relief when we're able to let that go and express ourselves as the authentic angels that we really are and that we came to be. The blessing of a 33-day course is that it does peel away those human defense layers that we've all accumulated over our lifetime. And if we can really hold on to that authenticity, that vulnerability as we move forward, that's a blessing, and that's an angelic presence. All right, any questions or comments before we go do our final guided meditation? I also,
Yes,
yes,
I
Amy.
have something. I don't know how this is directly related, but I just want to share that yesterday after our beautiful class, I then went on to have a horrible argument with my husband, just absolutely horrible. And he was being very blaming and he wasn't owning anything. And I was just being more and more open about acknowledging everything he blamed me for without, in my defenselessness, my safety lies, but also holding my boundary with my own self-respect. And at the same time, we had our mow and blow guy, our landscape guy, coming to cut trees and do all this major work that we've been waiting for 2 months. And he was driving me crazy by not remembering things he had promised to do. And I was turning to the angels. How can I communicate well? And yet, we have an agreement for what I pay him for. And I went after stopping this argument with my husband and going over to Francisco with full intention to be angelic. What comes out of my mouth is, Francisco, I'm having a bad day, and I'm not going to be the friendly self that I usually am. And Francisco is very grumpy. And Francisco says to me with sort of delight, he goes, I am often like that. And I said, I know.
So you connected in your human pitiful selves. Yeah.
I did. And then I said to him, do you want to work for us? Are you happy working for us? And he said, yes. Why do you ask? And I said, because I feel disrespected. I never use that word, but it felt like the right word for Francisco. I said, I feel disrespected. And he said, why? And then he let me point out all the things that hadn't been done for a few months. And unlike my husband, he acknowledged everything and kept saying, that is my fault. That is my responsibility. He was like the opposite of my husband. It was so interesting.
So what was the angel lesson in this?
I don't know. I don't know what the lesson was, but I stayed with my integrity and got to try it out with somebody else who showed up fully.
But
So
you're also talking about human integrity. How did your angel self view this situation from a higher perspective?
I don't know, Sue.
I
I
think
feel like
that's your
I'm right smack in it,
I know you're in the human drama. And
Yeah.
whenever we are even blaming people and asking them to say, yes, I did that, we're in a human drama and we're seeing it from the human lens. And I think the point of this angel conversation is that there's two ways to see everything. And seeing your husband as struggling, probably because he feels you shifting your frequency to a higher place. And in some very deep way, it's threatening. Because I know when I come downstairs after teaching this, Gene is usually in a much grumpier state. It's early in the morning and he had to get up early to feed the cats. And so I've learned I can't interact right away because he's coming from a different place and I'm coming from a angelic higher frequency, and I need to wait a while until we both kind of normalize a little bit before we engage. So be aware that on the angelic level, if you are in a relationship or situation where the people around you are feeling that you're changing, feeling that your vibration is shifting, they're going to act up because it's human nature. And they'll try to, in some ways, pick a fight to bring you down to your normal level of vibration. I had a spiritual teacher who used to always talk about this, and he would say, when your energy is really exalted, you're like a beacon of people are going to come and say, I want that. But the way they'll do it is by picking a fight, you know? So be aware of that and be aware of, is there a different way to respond? Because I know I've fallen into it as well with people right after teaching. You know, I'll go and interact with Gene and he'll go, did you see this terrible thing happening in the world? And I'm like, oh God, don't bring me there. And so we have to learn how to walk into this physical world where most people are at a different vibration and not let it pull us down into the human drama of it all. And even when we say, I stand in integrity, that's a human statement, a human perspective. No, we stand above it, watching it, trying to bring healing, light, and deeper understanding to it. And that's a big shift, and it's hard. And all of you are now going out in the world in a different frequency, and people will try to change that and bring you into a more human state. But
Well, I will say in this moment, taking in what you're saying, that from my Sufi teachers, I've learned about love, harmony, and beauty. And I often say, let's speak the language of love, harmony, and beauty. And I felt that the gift I was given when I walked over to Francisco, who's not a stranger, but we don't have a friendship, that I felt like the angels were saying, you are not crazy wanting to speak the language of love, harmony, and beauty. It can be done. People will speak it with you. And here, Francisco, he just spoke the language of love, harmony, and beauty. He just was honest and transparent and apologetic, and we totally harmonized. We had a beautiful conversation.
well, your husband is a different relationship with you, a very different one. So you have to really honor what's going on a deep level there of him reacting to your frequency shift. It's not the same as somebody who shows up once a month or something, you know, to work with you, who you're paying as well. That puts you in a different relationship. But anyway, all of these are human drama situations. And yes, they're going to happen. We're going to get out of this class and we're going to go out and see that, you know, our roof flooded in a storm and that the roof repairman doesn't want to fix it. And we're back in the human drama. But how can we, in that moment, really see it from a higher perspective and ask the angels, what needs to happen here? What healing can I bring to this? And not engage in the drama, because the angels will always give you the answer to that. And it's different from what the human mind thinks. So on that note, let's go talk to the angels for our final guided meditation. All right, 3 deep breaths. Inhale with me. Inhale. And again. Again. Ah, beloved angels, as you lift us up to show us our human lives from a higher perspective, please illuminate the places where we fall into the human drama and lose sight of our higher self's wisdom. Reveal to us the different ways that we can walk through these situations. Reveal to us what our true role is as an angel on earth, ascendant from the heart of drama, ascendant from the good player, bad player story. Lift us into that awareness so that as we walk forward through our lives, we know when something is pulling us into human drama, ego story, and we're able to sidestep it, take a different stance, be defenseless, be authentic, and be loving. This is what we're here to do, no matter what comes our way. So, angels, show us our future unfolding. Prepare us for moments that are coming, the tests that are coming, to help us be aware that we have a different way of responding. Bring us to the understanding that walking as an angel on earth has a very different frequency from drama, from warfare, from disagreement. Show us how to still live authentically and truthfully, but by seeing it from a higher wisdom. This is the gift you offer us, angels. So we will remember that in every instance where the human drama threatens to pull us down into the ego self, that we will say, angels, lift me, love me, help me, heal me, show me this moment from your perspective. And suddenly you may see the pain in the person standing before you. You may see their entire backstory of everything they've struggled with in this lifetime, just as you'll see it in your soul review. And you'll understand, oh, this conversation is not about being right or wrong. Conversation is about holding them in my heart of compassion, understanding that they are struggling in their earth life, that they've walked through so much pain and fire and suffering in the past, and now they've come to me for a healing, for an enlightenment of energy. Show me how to provide that, even when someone comes to me in anger or blame. These are the difficult moments of my future life, angels, and we know this, but we also know that you are there for us, showing us a way above and through with angelic presence. And we also know that you offer us a gift every day of changing a conversation we're in and bringing healing, wisdom, and light to it. So we will wait to see that situation, and we will step up. And when we don't step up, we will forgive ourselves and remember that we are still humans on an earth journey, trying to step up whenever we remember that we have come here to hold the light, and that is our only job. And so it is. All right, my babies, I will see you soon. And it's been such an incredible, extraordinary gift to be with all of you. Thank you so much.